Oh my gosh, guys, I am so excited. We are here with Laughing Jack. They are some of my favorite people in the whole entire world. I have hired them for gigs before, just saying, not me personally paying, but other people paying and bringing them into beautiful situations like the Scottish Highland Games and other things. They play in so many other situations, and I am so excited to get to know them and to get to know how they became a band. So, guys, question. What is Laughing Jack?
Gary,
anybody?
What's Laughing Jack?
No idea.
Well, I wrote a song called Laughing Jack. And when we decided to form and what we were going to name the band, that's just what we settled on. It's a song about pirates.
Oh, pirates are
The Laughing Jack is actually the flag that they flew, and it's like a skull and crossbones. The skull kind of looks like it's laughing, and it's got like a heart, a red heart for a tongue. So that's the flag that the pirates flew. That's where we got the name from.
Very nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did you guys meet? I know you guys, some of you play in some other bands together and everything, but did that start? How did you guys meet? How did you make Laughing Jack?
Well, Gary and I played together in Hog-Eye Navy. I joined that band in 98 or so, and so I played with that band for 10 years and with Gary in the band. That's how I met Gary.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen Hog-Eye Navy quite a bit. I know you guys from like way past. Hog-Eye Navy is like here in my heart. But what about the other two? There's two extra people in this band.
I early 80s, I think, my first exposure to the trail to these gentlemen here was following a car over to the Lotus Sticky Festival in Cincinnati.
Okay, this needs a lot more explanation. That's hilarious. So you followed them just like out of the blue?
So it's not them. No, but in the car in front of me was a gentleman named, Captain from Hog-Eye. And there were feet hanging out of the window of the car.
Nice.
And as it turns out, that's how I got exposed to all these gentlemen. So
nice. You're like, follow the feet.
Follow the feet.
We can get there. I know we can if we follow the feet. Where were you trying to get to again? That you followed the feet?
Lotus Sticky Festival in Cincinnati.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, and that was Terry Bellner's feet.
And you got there. So that's good to know. That's good to
Follow
know.
the feet. That's how you got
it. So that's my introduction to this whole group of crazy people.
Nice. So how did they ask you to be in the band?
Well, I was the last fiddler in Hog-Eye, and I think I was with them about a year and a half, 2 years before they moved out east. And Gary and I were the two existing members that were still in Indianapolis.
Nice.
And Mario and Dimitri, and we all just went, hey.
There you go. We got to make something else out of this. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All right, Mario. What about you? How did you meet these crazy people?
Oh, that's a good question. So Dimitri had left Hog-Eye, and he started a band called Ennis Clare. And I was playing Irish session music, and I would show up every once in a while, and people would say, "Hey, do you know Dimitri?" And I'd say, "No, I have no idea who you're talking about." And I thought he was this old bagpiper that I had seen, or Irish piper, Illian piper. And it turns out he was not at all that person. And so I met him finally at the Eagle Creek Folk Festival put on by the Dulcimer Society. And we're playing at a session, Irish session, and he asks me, "So do you play tenor banjo?" And I said, "Well, I own a tenor banjo," because I didn't really play much tenor banjo at the time. And so he said, "Well, you want to be in my band?" Because the tenor banjo player in that band, John Andrew, he didn't want to be in the band anymore. He wanted to do other things, or he wanted to trade out. And so
it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And so I said, "Sure, I'll play some gigs." And so I was in Ennis Clare. And then when when Hawkeye broke up, then Gary continued playing by starting Laughing Jack, and the guitar player in that band also had played with Hawkeye. That was Eric Peterson, but he also played with Ennis Clare.
You see a pattern?
You know,
he
You
played
see a
guitar
pattern
in that band.
happening?
I played
Yes.
tenor banjo in that band, and so he left and he moved to LA, and there was a guitar spot open, and so I said, "How much are you going to pay me?"
And
I
we
love
said
that.
We said,
And they
the
said,
same as we always do.
Nothing.
0. Yeah.
twice as much as you usually get. So
oh
I said,
my
I'm
God.
in.
Right. It was hilarious because, you know, Celtic Rain, we're a Celtic band, and it's hilarious. Everybody plays the same gigs. Everybody
Right.
gets to say hello to everybody. And that's how I was like, I said, okay, I'm starting this radio show. I think I'll bring on all my friends.
That's right.
I'm like, let's bring on all the Celtic bands I know.
Yeah.
But that's my first choice. And so I was like, because I've played with them before.
Yeah.
But I have to say, you guys have never asked me to play with you before. So I'm just going to say.
Well, give us time.
Give us
Right.
time. Yeah.
We're not asking anyone to play with us currently. So
Well, that's true. COVID is ridiculous
we're not
crazy.
even playing it together ourselves.
No, not at all.
So I know
There
it's
are-
really harsh, but what kind of music do
There
you
are a
guys
lot of
normally
Celtic-
play?
There are a lot of Celtic bands in Indianapolis, but they just all kind of share the same musicians.
That's exactly
That's
right.
true.
That's
They do.
true.
It's very Icelandy of us.
Oh, I like
'Cause-
that.
Yeah, because Iceland shares all the same musicians because it's
A
so
lot of
small.
DNA.
They all,
Small.
yeah, it's very Bjork of us. Very Bjork of us.
Sure.
Anyway, so what kind of music do you guys normally play when you play music?
Well, Laughing Jack in our business card, it says that we are purveyors of acoustical tunes, ballads, shanties, songs of America, Ireland, and the British Isles. So
Very nice.
that pretty much covers it. We're purveyors of tunes and songs.
Purveyors. I like
Yeah.
that. We are purveyors.
So,
meaning we may know it, we may not. And
that's
if we
right.
don't,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
So
purveyors.
Gary and Mario sing a lot of folk songs, both older and more modern songs. Liz
nice.
and I are mostly instrumental. I sing a couple tunes, just a couple here and there. But Gary does all the sea shanties.
Oh, that's
Mario
beautiful.
does a couple, but that's Gary's
I like that.
his wheelhouse. Yeah, are those
So
two.
we're gonna be listening to "I'm Not Irish." So tell me about this song.
All right. Well, this is the song I wrote several years ago. We were playing as the group Laughing Jack. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Aristocrat Pub, but we were doing
Oh,
a gig there. And as the gig was over that night, they got a little bit of a stage and we were packing up. And there were two gentlemen on the other side of the railing. And I overheard them say, talking to each other. And one of them said, "I'm not Scottish or Irish." And I leaned over and said, "No, you just love to drink and sing." And everybody started laughing. And then I went back packing up. And then I thought, that might be the seed for a song. So I kind of wrote it down in the palm of my hand. And then a couple of days later, when I had a chance, I wrote the song. So that's what
That's
that's
awesome.
what it started from.
That is absolutely beautiful because sometimes we can get inspiration from all sorts of places, and drunk people, that's like the best inspiration of all.
I love that.
Just saying.
Very
It's
true.
just the best. It's just so best. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to this beautiful song called "I'm Not Irish" and have a lot of fun with it. And we'll talk to you guys very, very soon and get a little bit more about you guys. Sound great?
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we are back with Laughing Jack. That last session was so fun, talking about so much beautiful music, shanties. We heard some amazing music between the last session and this session. I cannot wait until you hear a little bit about them. So let's start this thing. Mario, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been playing guitar for a long time. I took lessons from the same guy that taught your husband, Brett Terrell. And I played classical guitar for a long time. And I played jazz, and I decided that classical guitar was too lonely. And so I decided to play folk music. And I started playing American folk music and fiddle tunes on guitar. And I decided to pick up a mandolin. And then I got invited to play some Irish sessions. And then I got invited to play some St. Patrick's Day gigs. And from there, I decided that I should learn more tunes. And then eventually I got invited by Dimitri to join an Irish band. So that's how I got into Irish music. But
you should talk to Samuel. You guys would have the best time talking about your journeys. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
And we've talked a lot in the past. And I'd love to get in touch with him again. I play other music too. I play in a gypsy jazz band called Dukes of Django, and I play at the Irish or at the farmers markets, usually in duos, just
nice
fiddle tunes and things like that. And then I play a lot of rock and roll. So I try to be pretty varied. And occasionally I'll pick up some Bach and still play Bach. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you're their rock star. You're the rock star of the band. Then.
I wouldn't say that, but yes, I am the rock star.
Totally.
Very nice.
He would let us
Very
sing.
nice.
He
would let you say that, but he doesn't want to.
Exactly.
Nice. So now what about you, Dimitri? Tell us about yourself. You are an interesting fella that I know of.
Thank you.
Interesting fella.
Yeah, I've been told that. Yeah. So I'm a classically trained trumpet player. So I've been playing trumpet all my life. You know, picked it up in the 5th grade, and went to university playing trumpet and music education. But I always wanted to play the Highland bagpipes. Growing up in high school, I listened to Fiona Ritchie and Thistle and Shamrock just all the time, and I really wanted to play pipes. And when I got out of college and made enough money, I bought my first set of pipes. And so
nice.
Been playing the Highland pipes ever since, and wanted to play in competition pipe bands and that kind of thing. But at the time, I was a high school band director, and marching band season for high school bands and competition pipe season is exactly the same time. So couldn't do it. But that, if you play the pipes, you can play the penny whistle, and I played penny whistle, and that led to the Irish flute, which is other than trumpet, my real love, the Irish flute. So I started playing that, and every once in a while I'd bring the pipes to a Hog Eye Navy gig, and Terry would say, "Hey, did you bring the pipes?" And I played like just one set with Hog Eye, and that led to being in the band with Hog Eye. So I played with them for 10 years, started my own band, Ennis Clare, after that. And, as Mario alluded to last segment, that Ennis Clare went through a couple of iterations while Hog Eye was doing the same thing. And eventually the 4 of us got together from 2 different bands. So that's kind of led us to where we are with Laughing Jack. And of course, I played trumpet, play a fair amount of jazz, not as much as I'd like to, certainly not as much as I do Irish music. But I also am the director of the Indianapolis Ceilidh Band, and Ceilidh Band, of course, is like a competition dance band for
very nice
for Irish music. And if you're in the Ireland, if you're in the Ceilidh Band, that means you're the best of the best. You're like the rock.
There you go.
Of trad music,
Nice. In fact, Ron said to say hello. I'm just saying.
Good. Yeah.
Ron says hi.
Ron plays the drummer in the Ceilidh Band.
Yes.
And then, of course, I run the Irish Arts Academy of Indianapolis, teaching all types of Irish music and language and song. So deeply embedded in the Irish music community. So
That's awesome. Okay, well, Liz, we're up to you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I actually am a hammer dulcimer player,
Ooh,
and I've been
that's
playing
nice.
that since I was 14. So that, but nobody will let me bring it to any of the
What? They won't let you bring it?
Not
Oh,
true.
that's
Not true.
Not true. Not true.
That is
Yeah.
horrible.
No,
I
anyway,
would so be on them.
I,
That's horrible.
I lived in San Francisco for a while where I was a street musician with the hammer dulcimer, like literally
Very nice.
here in Daly Square, Fisherman's Wharf, all that good stuff, begging for money. But I picked the fiddle up when I was out in San Francisco, and I mean the music out there was just phenomenal. It was just the late '70s was just the perfect time for folk music in San Francisco. Anyway, so long story short, I ended up in Indiana. Another time, I will tell you about that another time, and.
We'll have you back on just to talk about that.
Yeah, no. So I live in Columbus, Indiana, and I teach, except for I'm not now because of COVID, but I teach strings, violin, ukulele, guitar, mandolin, whatever
Nice.
else, anybody, banjo. Even though I can't really play half of those instruments, I teach anyway. A piano and hammer dulcimer. Yeah, and just really miss my band buddies.
You know, COVID will be over soon.
I know.
Hopefully. Cross every single digit you have. So, you know, there you go. All right. Well, it brings us to Gary. Gary, tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, it's kind of like there's the before Indy and the after Indy. And my folks were from West Virginia, and I got
My
a
God.
love. I'm not going to get into it too much. But I got a love for folk music in
You
general.
only have 30 seconds, Gary.
When I was 5.
From my mom's dad, at any rate. And I grew up in Danville, Illinois. Well, in '89, I moved to Indianapolis, and I knew Terry Fellner, who was the head of Hawkeye, and shortly before I moved over here, I was in reenactment. I did Rev War reenacting. That's how I met Terry, singing around the campfires and stuff in the evening. He would go to a lot of the same events. And when I moved over here, then I got with Terry, and I've been singing with him and Hawkeye for over 30 years almost, till the band broke up a couple years ago. And from that band, I went into with the Laughing Jack. And like I say, I met Liz and Dimitri through Hawkeye, and then I was familiar with Mario, but I hadn't really performed to him before he came to Laughing Jack. But
You
it's
thought
been
he
a
was some
it's been a good
old-
reject.
Some old guy playing.
relationship.
He's just, you know, he
feel
just has a
pretty honored
superstar.
to
Is the
play
problem. Rock star.
with these musicians. I don't consider myself a musician. I'm more of a singer, but I'm really honored to be playing with these guys. So.
That's just amazing.
Okay,
Gary.
I
I'm
know.
going to say this for all the singers out there who are trained. We are also musicians. Thank you very much. This is an instrument.
And Gary is definitely a musician.
There you go.
He is-
See,
Consummate.
we
he is.
are musicians.
I consider myself more of a performer probably than an actual singer.
Yeah, but
He is also a performer and a character.
that's
A
right.
character. I'll give
I
you
am a
that.
character.
I'll give you that.
He is a very, very fine
If
musician.
you cannot be a character if you have you can't not be a character if you have the mustache and that beard that is
That's
going
That's
on.
true.
That in and of itself, just the mustache and the beard are a character in and of themselves.
Yeah,
if
but
he
don't-
walked away, the mustache and beard will still be doing something, I'm sure.
Don't let him fool you, though. He is a fine, fine musician.
Oh my
Really.
gosh.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Sometimes
Okay, well
songwriting.
tell me about Across the Western Ocean, somebody. What is this
Mario?
next song we're about to hear?
Well, this is a song that I sing, and this is kind of a song in self-defense because Gary always, and he should, this is his band, but Gary always gets the prime spots. He always gets the first song, he always gets the last song, and the middle songs too. And I thought, I need to have a song that just has impact, that will just, people will just, I mean, they'll be knocked over, and then Gary will have to find another plateau to reach to in order to follow this song. And so I searched all of the oracles and the chronicles, and I looked through everything I could find to find a perfect shanty to put a rock and roll beat to. And I found
Because he's the rock and roll star.
Exactly. And I was inspired by the great Bo Diddley, who has his own rhythm named after him. And
Very nice.
And I was able to meld this sea shanty with this rhythm. And it's not just rock and roll, and it's not just a shanty, but it's a rock
It's magic.
shanty.
It's an anthem. It's an anthem.
So basically, I ripped off a bunch of people from YouTube, and I came up with the version of Across the Western Ocean that we did.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's you and Queen, right?
Right.
You.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I get it. Now, if you're not as good as Queen, everybody's going to judge you. I'm just saying. But
not nearly as good.
There you are. No, I'm just. Just kidding. All right. Well, guys, we are going to listen to that and so much more. We'll have Laughing Jack back for one more time. So let's say hello and goodbye for just a moment. And take it down. Hello, this is Laughing Jack. Again, for the last time. We did that just because, Mario already showed us his future. And you should at least see the future of the whole band. As, you see the future of one of its members. Sorry, picking on you a little bit, but I love you. I would have to say this though before we begin or end anything. You guys have beautiful places to find your music. Yes, where can we find your music?
You can find us on Facebook, of course, facebook.com/laughingjackband. And if you're looking for us on the web, we are www.laughingjackband.com. Gary, why don't you want to look up Laughing Jack?
Before we picked that name, I Googled it to see if there was anything out there, and all there was a guy who was a clown in Florida, and then so we go ahead and we pick the name, we go ahead and use that, and then it's like a year later, maybe not even that long. The next thing you know, they've got some creepy Jack in the Box.
Creepy murder clown.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's they call it creepy pasta, and it's like this morbid laugh in the box clown, and it's like
no.
Just look off, it's like everything.
Always put band afterward.
Right.
So www, so 3 W's, laughingjackband.com.
Yep. That's our website.
Band at the end. Band.
You can find it there. We are also on Bands in Town too. So if you like that app, Bands in Town, which is a great app by the way, because you can pick your favorite artist, and when they come close, it'll notify you. So we're on there too. So that Bands in Town, you can log on to that and find us there as well. But Facebook,
we've got some spots on YouTube also.
I was just getting to that, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. On my YouTube channel, which is Dimitri Music, YouTube, a lot of Laughing Jack performance there. So Dimitri Music, and a lot of
Dimitri Music. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Dimitri on Dimitri. Well, I would assume there would be a lot of Dimitri on Dimitri Music, but there's also a lot of Laughing Jack, and that's beautiful. That's awesome. Do you guys have any what are you guys planning for the future? Let's just say COVID went away. What is there anything you guys are planning for the future?
We do have something that we're planning.
I would quit my real job.
If COVID ended?
No, if COVID ended, I would quit my real job. and just play
Yes.
music 24/7.
We actually
Right?
have something in the works. Gary, you want to tell them about your album idea?
About my what?
Our next album project.
Oh, project. Yeah. Well, it was actually supposed to be our first, but we got this opportunity to do a concert and we recorded that live, so that was nice. I was wanting to do a pirate themed kind of a album with shanty and different pirate songs, few of them that I've written, and that's where the Laughing Jack, like I said, came from. So
Oh, nice.
we'd like to get that album perhaps done here in the next few months or whatever, maybe at least recorded or whatever. So that would be one thing it'd be nice to do.
It's a great time to do that. I mean, when you're in quarantine, you've got no time but the present, right? To just record and have a great time with that. So that would be beautiful. We'd love to hear that. When that comes out, please let us know. We'll have you back on. You can debut it and we can have a great time with that for sure. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. We're waiting for that now. Now that we know, we're waiting for that.
We can't wait to do it, but it's hard to get together right now
Yes,
to
absolutely.
rehearse. So.
Right. In a COVID world, it is tough to get together.
In a COVID world, that is going to be
Yeah, that
like
didn't make it any easier.
whole thing for like 2020, 2021.
Huh?
What did you say, Gary?
I said, yes, that doesn't make it any easier.
No.
No. Well, okay, so tell me about this last song that you guys are going to be debuting. It's called Donegal Danny. Well, tell me about that one.
Donegal Danny. I believe it's a Phil Coulter song. It's a song I heard a group from Ireland do, and I sang it with Hog Eye as well, but we never recorded it. Laughing Jack has been able to record it. It's on our first and only CD right now. But it's a bit of a contemporary folk song. It's about well, I did a little twist of it. I ended it different than what he wrote it. He's like a tramp or a street person who used to be a sailor, a fisherman, and he got in their boat wrecked, and all of his friends died, and so he's part of the chorus is his name, Donegal Danny, and but I put a little bit of a twist at the end. I turn him into a ghost. So it's like,
oh, well, that's nice.
He's not just, it's like at the very end, it's like he's there and he's telling this story, and the chorus is kind of like he's making a toast almost to his friends and that have perished in that. And at the very end, the bartender sees him, he gives us toast and that, and the bartender sees him disappear. He kind of turns into the cloud of smoke or whatever. And it's kind of upbeat. It's kind of a crowd pleaser. We end on it a lot of times.
Nice. Well, we're going to listen to it next. I do want to say, because this will be the last time we hear from you on this show, I want to say thank you so much, guys, for coming on and being a part of this show. I'm so excited. This is my second show for the Celtic Rain Radio Show. Yay! And you guys are so beautiful to my heart, make my heart sing, for coming on and saying and being a part of this. I will obviously have you back on because, you know, you're just part of our Celtic family. So there you are. But I really, really appreciate you guys coming on and being a part of this and really just being a part of, frankly, my 5-year dream. This for me is a part of my 5-year dream. I dreamed about this about 5 years ago, and it's coming to fruition. I'm learning so much and I am growing every day. But I thank God for the people in my life that have been put there, like you guys, to just help me along the way and be a part of this dream with me. So thank you so very much.
Rebecca.
Thank you for letting us be a part of your.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks so much.
Thank
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Okay.